So are Amazon ads expensive? That's the real question. That's a question everyone's asking. Are Amazon ads expensive? A lot of you are going to say yes. A lot of you are going to say no. But we're going to break it down in this video. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you why Amazon ads isn't as expensive as you think it is. In fact, it's actually really, really cheap. And I promise you, I'm going to show you why. Let's say you think Amazon ads are expensive. Well, what's expensive? If you spend $200 on Amazon ads, is that expensive? Some people might say yes. Other people might say no. Okay, what if you spend $500 on ads in 1 month? Is that expensive? A little bit more expensive than the first one. Okay, what if you spend $1,500 on ads? Is that expensive? It's starting to get a little bit more on the high budget side. But one final one. What if you spend $2,500 a month on ads for one book? Is that expensive? A lot of you are going to say, yes, Barry, this is very expensive. There's no way I would spend $2,500 on ads in 1 month for one book. And I completely understand you. $2,500 is a lot of money for some people. But here's the thing. I was watching a video of Dan Henry. He's like this big marketing guy, super cool guy, knows a lot about marketing. And there was a short video where someone came up to interview him in the middle of the street and he asked him, what's the difference between rich people and poor people? And he said, well, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to show you. So he had a backpack on and he took his backpack off and he said, I bought this backpack for $20. Do you want to buy it off me for $200? And the guy was like, no, I don't want to buy the backpack. And he said, that's exactly the reason why you're poor. Because afterwards he said, you shouldn't just say no. You should ask what's in the bag. Because what if he had $200K in the bag in cash? Then $200 seems like a deal. It seems like, of course, you're going to buy the bag. But it's important to ask what's in the bag. Now, that's a story about conveying value, but we can still take some elements of that and apply it to Amazon ads. So if I ask you, is $2,500 expensive for ads? The correct question to ask me back should be, well, how much am I making? If you're making $5,000 back, then is $2,500 a lot of money to spend on ads? No, it's not. In fact, it's free. It's free money. You're printing $2,500 because you're spending $2,500 on ads and you're making $2,500 profit back. So you're making $5,000 in total. Now, before you click off the video, I know what you're saying. Well, Barry, of course it's not expensive if you're making money back, but it is expensive if you're losing money. And I agree with you, but I want to show you something right now. The only reason you're losing money on ads is because of one of these two reasons. Sometimes it can even be both. So there's only two reasons you're losing money on ads. So here's the first reason. Let's forget about books for a second. Okay, let's pretend that we're selling a mirror on Amazon. Okay, and the search results are like that. These are the top 4 search results. Okay, this is your competitor's mirror. This is supposed to be a mirror, by the way. These are all your competitors' mirrors, and then this is your mirror. And then all of these are sponsored, which means they're running ads to show up on this page. This guy's bidding 80 cents, this guy's bidding 70, this guy's bidding 65, and you're bidding 60 cents. Let's just pretend that that's what it is. As soon as someone clicks on any one of these guys are gonna have to pay Amazon for that click. Same applies for you. Now, if someone clicks on this one and they sell the mirror for $20, great, then their ads are profitable. They just made money on it. If someone clicks on it and doesn't buy, great, they just lost 70 cents. So this guy made money and this guy lost money. This guy that made money, someone clicked on it and actually bought it. This guy that lost money, someone clicked on it and didn't buy it. So guess why you're losing money on Amazon? Because they didn't buy. That's the only reason you're losing money on ads, because they didn't buy. So you need to figure out, why did they not buy? Amazon isn't just sitting there waiting for you to publish a book and say, how am I going to steal all this money from them? How am I going to get all their ad money? No, Amazon wants you to make money. If your ads aren't working, you're doing something wrong. I'm going to show you how to figure out what you're doing wrong, because there's only 2 ways you can lose money. So the first one is, if everyone's selling a mirror, okay, let's just use a different example. If everyone's selling a mirror and you're selling a broken mirror, okay, people are going to be clicking on these 3 mirrors and they're going to be buying because the mirrors are good. You can use them. You can see your reflection in them crystal clear. But anytime someone clicks on your mirror, what are the chances that they're going to buy your broken mirror? Very low. Obviously, unless they're looking for a broken mirror. But I see a lot of publishers complaining about the amount of money they spend on Amazon ads and they're not seeing the returns back. But once you look at their book, it's as if they're selling a broken mirror. Their book is really bad. It's terrible. And the worst part is they don't know why it's bad. Or even worse, they think it's good even though it's bad. And it's okay, because that's a mistake that I made as well. I thought I was a legend. 3 years ago when I was making books, I thought I knew everything. I was publishing books and I was thinking, oh, why is this not working? Why are my ads so bad? But then looking back at it now, I don't even know how I was able to sell a single copy of the books that I was making. The books were really bad, but it's only once I gathered the skills to realize how bad the books were before. So you might think your books are good, but if you're running ads and your ads are not converting, it just literally means, it simply means someone is clicking on your book, or a bunch of people are clicking on your book and they're not buying. It's the only reason. If they were buying, then your ads will be profitable. So you're only going to figure out why they're not buying. Is your book actually better than your competitor? Is your book actually worth buying? You're not making a book to make money. You're making a book to satisfy the customer. Once the customer is satisfied, that's when you make money. So the first reason is, don't sell a broken mirror. You have to have a quality book. If your ads aren't working, then maybe your book is just not as good as you think it is. So maybe you just have a bad book, or maybe just one part of your book is bad. Just go in and try and figure it out. See, is there anything that I can do better? How can I improve it? You need to be constantly improving your books. There was even this TikTok cookbook that I saw 2 years ago, and it was doing so well. And even though it was doing well, it changed the cover while it was like at 10,000 ABSR or something like that. It was selling loads of copies, but they still improved it and changed the cover, and then they sold even more. So they could have sat back and said, oh, you know what, it's working, I'm not going to touch it. But no, they were like, how can we make it even better? And now it's the best-selling TikTok cookbook ever. So the first reason, having a bad book. But the second reason is what I see most people doing. And I even started out doing this. Let's say someone is searching for a dog collar. Okay, I know we're meant to be talking about books, but maybe if I give you different examples, you'll be able to understand. Let's say someone's searching for a dog collar, and this is a dog collar, this is a dog collar, this is a dog collar, and then your listing is a cat collar. I'm just going to do that so you know it's a cat. What are the chances, even if you advertise, even if you're on the top of the page, what are the chances that someone who is searching dog collar is going to buy your cat collar? Probably very, very low, because the chances of someone searching for a dog and looking for a cat is extremely low. So no matter how many clicks you get from dog collar, no matter how much you spend on dog collar, almost never going to convert. It's going to convert very, 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 very low. Why? Because it's completely irrelevant, and a lot of people seem to be advertising on irrelevant keywords and irrelevant products. Now, I've helped hundreds of clients run their ads, and every single one that came to me, they all had one campaign with 400 keywords, another product campaign with 300 products, and then I'll go inside and they're trying to sell a football book and they're targeting baseball. Well, how are you going to convert for baseball if you're selling a football book? It doesn't make any sense. So you can't target irrelevant products. Those are the only two reasons why your ads are failing. But there's something else that I want to show you that might be helpful. So a long time ago, it was very common for KDP people to talk about making campaigns with like hundreds of thousands of keywords. And a lot of people would do that. So in month one, this is the month. So in month one, they would target 1,000 keywords. Let's say we're selling a book on how to build a house. Okay, it's a book teaching people how to build a house from scratch using just wood or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know if that exists, but let's just pretend it does. If you're selling a book on how to build a house, how are you going to find 1,000 keywords that are relevant to your book? I can probably think of 10. And even if I go do the research, I can probably find another 20, maybe 30. But I can't think of 1,000 keywords. Now, here's the thing. If you go inside, you might find keywords that say something like house decorating for beginners. And some people might consider that, oh, you know what, it has the word house in it, let me just add it just in case. No, but your book is not a house decorating book. It's a house building book. It's how to build a house. So every single keyword that you want, especially in month one, that's the most important month. We talked about the honeymoon period. You know how important the honeymoon period is, and you know how important your conversion rate is. So you know how important it is to be relevant, especially in the first month. So if you're selling a how to build a house book, you're not going to target keywords about house decorating. You're not going to target keywords about plumbing. You're not going to target keywords about how to train a dog. You're only going to target keywords that are 100% related to your book. If you search it, your competitors should show up, because that shows you people that search this are looking for your competitors anyway. So if you show up there, there's a much higher chance that they're going to buy your book. So what used to happen in the old days was people would target thousands of keywords because they wanted to cast their net very, very broad. And then in month two, they would start to eliminate the keywords that didn't work, and they might target 500 keywords. And then in month three, they're going to realize that most of the keywords that they spent all their hard-earned money on were absolutely terrible and completely irrelevant, and they're going to be left with like 50 keywords that actually work. Now, the problem with this is that in month one, if you're spending money on thousands of keywords, you're going to spend $1,000 here in month one. And that's when you're going to say, oh, ads are expensive, but they're only expensive because either your book is bad, which let's just assume you have a really good book, or you're targeting irrelevant keywords, which is why you have thousands of. If you have a campaign with hundreds of keywords, please check it. Check if there's any irrelevant keywords in it. You don't have to. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you from my experience what I learned. It's all up to you what you do. But I'm telling you, I used to do this as well. And I used to complain about ads being expensive. But now my mindset shift, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do right now. But for now, you spend 1,000 here, and then after you take away $500, which was wasted on irrelevant keywords, now you're spending $500 here. And then you might continue to spend $500. But you're losing so much money at the start because of all the irrelevant keywords that you're targeting. So what are you supposed to do instead? Well, here's what I do now. What I do now is I only start off with maybe 20 keywords, maybe, if I'm lucky, 20 keywords, and maybe 10 products as well. Now, what's so important about these keywords and these products? The most important part is they're 100% relevant to my book. 100%. If I read the keywords for you, you're going to know what my book is. If I read every single one of these keywords, they're all going to say the same thing because my book doesn't change. All of my keywords are going to be how to build a house in 30 days, house building skills, how to build a house from wood, learn to build a house construction skills. All of it has to be 100% related to what my book is about. Now, what happens right here is I might make 20 sales, I might make 30 sales. I don't know how many sales I'm going to make. I'm probably not going to make thousands of sales unless my book is amazing, and then, I don't know, maybe the algorithm picks it up very fast, because that's possible. But most of the times, I might make 20, maybe 30 sales in the first month. Now, a lot of you are going to say, oh, 30 sales is not a lot. I know it's not a lot, but I'm not spending thousands in the first month. The first month, maybe I'll spend $200, maybe $300 in the first month. Now, this isn't money that I lost because you're not running ads to get sales in the first month. You're running ads to buy data. Data is the most important thing. I'm going to write it here. Data is the most important thing. You're buying data. So if I spend $300 and I make 20 sales and I get $5 profit, 20 times 5 or 100. So if I spend $200 and I make 100 back, then I only spent $100 to get the data that I need to move on to the next stage, because I can't move on to the next stage unless I have the data. Now, in the second stage, Amazon is actually going to start figuring out what your book is about and where to place it and where you can get more sales. This is when you start to exponentially grow, and you might make 100 sales and you might only spend $500. See, by now you've spent you spent $700 in the first 2 months instead of the 1,000 in your first month. Now, in this second month, you might even break even because every single keyword you're targeting is relevant for your book. It's very hard to lose money when someone who is searching for a house building book, your book pops up in front of their face, which is a house building book. It's very hard for them not to buy it because it's what they're searching for. But you need to target keywords that people are searching for. I know I said it a million times, but this thing alone is going to help you. Only target relevant keywords. And then what happens month after month is that you start expanding to more and more keywords. You might have 20 keywords here, then you might have 100 keywords here, then you might have 300 keywords here. But the most important part is when you reach the 300 keywords, 80% of them are relevant. But with this technique that was taught for many years is you're targeting completely irrelevant keywords, then you're basically getting rid of some irrelevant keywords. I think your whole goal is to keep getting rid of irrelevant keywords. So you're spending money on bad keywords just to get rid of them afterwards. But with this, when you're spending money only on relevant keywords, and then you're spending money to expand your relevant keywords. So instead of casting a wide net to catch a bunch of fish and then have to sort out the bad fish from the good, instead you'll go into a lake or a sea, or I don't know where you go to fish, and you're casting a small net somewhere where you know where there's only good fish. So you don't have to sort out the bad and the good. You know, the first month, I don't even optimize my campaigns the first month. I don't need to. I don't get data fast enough to optimize the campaigns. Now, I know a lot of people ask me, like, how do I optimize my campaigns the first month and how do I optimize on the second month? I bet I don't even think about optimizing. I do optimize my campaigns, but I have to wait for so long until I have enough data to actually optimize it. And most of the times, everything is working anyway because I gave Amazon things that I know are going to work. And when you know it's going to work and it actually starts working, obviously because your book is good, this won't work unless your book is good. I give Amazon what I know is going to work, what I know people are searching for, and what I know is relevant to my book. And then because I help out Amazon, Amazon helps me back and it starts showing me for even more relevant keywords. And then when I keep making sales, it starts showing me for even more relevant keywords. And then I keep making sales and I get more reviews and my conversion rate increases, and Amazon shows me for even more relevant keywords instead of starting off with thousands of irrelevant keywords. And then Amazon gets confused and doesn't know what works, and half of this works, and then you spent $50 here and you didn't get any conversions. Oh, this keyword has no impressions. This keyword had a bunch of impressions and no clicks. This keyword has a bunch of clicks and no sales. It's just all confusing for Amazon. So if you are targeting relevant keywords and relevant products and you're still not converting, still not getting sales, even though you're bidding high enough to beat your competitors, then that's probably because your book is not as good as you think it is. Now, if you're saying, oh, I know my book is good, think about this. Did you hire a designer or did you design it yourself? If you designed it yourself, that's okay. But if you did design it yourself, did you use Photoshop or did you use Canva? Because Canva is very, very limited. I'm not saying it's not good. Canva's great for some things. But when you're trying to publish a book that you're going to sell to thousands of people, then Canva is very limited on the designs that you can do on your books. Now, the second thing for your book cover and your A+ content, if you didn't hire a designer and you did it yourself, did you take a design course? Do you understand design? Do you understand what looks good and why it looks good? And did you do the customer research? And do you know what colors are going to convert well for your customers? And did you read your reviews to know what your customer wants? Are you giving the customer what they want? Because the only difference between a bad book and a good book is giving the customer what they want. If you give your customer what they want, well, here's the key word, want. Do you know what want means? Want means money. Want means I want your book more than I want my money. So if you come to me and you say, here's a book and it's $20, and I'm like, wow, that book is amazing. I really want that book. I want that book more than the $20 in my pocket. I'm going to give you the $20 and you're going to give me the book. I got what I want and you got what you want. But everyone seems to just want this. I'm talking about you. You seem to just want this without giving someone this. That's not how it works. As soon as you can give someone this and you're targeting relevant targets, your ads are going to work. I promise you. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've seen really bad ads. I've seen really good ads. And these are the only two things that you need to know. Target relevant targets and have a really good book that people actually want to buy. A valuable book that people are willing to give their money for your book, because your book is worth more than the money that they're going to give. If you can do that, then it's almost impossible for your ads to fail. Now in the program, I show you all my launch strategies and my bidding strategies and how I optimize my campaigns and everything. There's still a lot more that goes into ads, but this is the basic overview of what you need. If you don't have this, then it doesn't matter if you run broad campaigns. It doesn't matter if you run phrase campaigns. It doesn't matter if you're bidding the highest. It doesn't matter if you have top of search placements. It doesn't matter if you're using Google ads. It doesn't matter if you're bringing external traffic. If you don't have these two, obviously this one you want relevant targets, not irrelevant targets. If you don't have these two, if you don't have a good book and relevant targets, then everything else doesn't really matter. You can be the highest bidder. You're going to have 200% top of search placement. You can show up everywhere on Amazon. You can target 100,000 keywords. You're still not going to make sales, because the basic fundamental is that you need to have a good book that someone else wants more than their money. If you don't have that, it's going to be very hard for your ads to succeed. I hope you found this video helpful. I got a bunch of things to share. I got a bunch of secrets to share. If you want to learn all the secrets, just go in the description, click on my website. You can figure out all my secrets there. And if you're struggling with anything specifically, then just leave a comment down below so I can actually make a video for you on YouTube. But with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope your ads actually start working better than you expect. So good luck.